What up, everybody, and welcome back to the Sapiens channel, where we talk about using money and credit principles to get you out of debt, keep you from making the same mistakes, and get you in a better space financially. Before we jump into today's topic, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everybody's support as we continue to make fresh new content. Okay, so let's get into today's topic. Let's talk about interest. Now, if you watch my other videos, you already have an idea of how much I hate loans. I just hate owing people money, period. In my opinion, when you owe people money, especially in business, they have a certain level of control over you until you pay them back. I don't like being controlled. I understand that there's compromise in all things, but financially, I want to be as free as possible. And I also want that for those of you taking the time to watch my content. So let me tell you a little bit about what interest is and how it works against you and keeps you broke if you're not careful with loans. Let's take a look at the financial definition, and then let's take a look at my definition of interest. Just from a quick search on dictionary.com, if we go look up the word and look up definition number 14 as it pertains to finance, it says, a sum paid or charged for the use of money or for borrowing money. If we take it a step further and look up interest rate from a finance and business perspective, it says, the amount that a lender charges a borrower for taking out a loan, typically expressed as an annual percentage of the loan balance. Interest rate also applies to the percentage charged periodically on credit card balances. And credit card interest is what I want to focus on today. You see, this is the silent enemy that's eating your finances alive, and you have no idea why, because you don't fully understand it and how it's being done to you. But don't worry about it. I'm here to clear all of that up today and give you the basics on how it works so that you can be smarter about your purchases if you decide to take out a loan. Now let me give you my definition of interest so you can understand it a bit better. Interest is the penalty you pay for trying to own things you can't afford in the first place. Read that again and again. That's my definition. I'm gonna let that sit in your spirit for a minute. Yo, can I get a moment of silence while everybody reads this a few times? Okay, so anyway, back to my thoughts. What you are subconsciously saying to yourself when you are willing to take out a loan with interest is, I want it that bad that I'm willing to pay more for it than what it's worth. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. The interest on your revolving credit card debt is killing you because your credit card company makes money while you bleed out at the same time. From a credit card perspective, let me show you how this basically works and how to calculate it so that going forward, you can be aware. From this point on, don't sit up here and watch this part and then turn around and say nobody told you. Okay, so most people have credit cards, so I think this example will be fairly easy to understand. So let's say you owe $5,000 on a credit card and you pay a $100 minimum monthly payment. I want you to keep this $100 monthly payment in mind. Let's say your annual percentage rate, better known as APR, for that card is, let's go with 21%, since I think the average for a new credit card right now is around 20.5%. So we'll just round up. Now first, let's break it down a bit more and figure out how much an annual 21% interest rate is on a monthly basis. So we'll take the 21%, which is the APR, and divide it by 12, which is the number of months in a year, and get a total of 1.75% as our monthly interest rate. Now here comes some more math, because I know how everybody just loves and adores math. To figure out how much your monthly interest payment would be on a $5,000 credit card balance, you need to take that 1.75 monthly interest rate and multiply it by 5,000. This gets a little tricky because you have to move the 1.75% number over to the right a couple of decimal spaces. I know, fractions and percentages can be confusing. Anyway, so after you've moved it over a couple of spaces, you'll come out to 0.0175, and you'll multiply that times the $5,000 balance that you have. So essentially, 0.0175 times 5,000 equals 87.50. So basically $87.50 is the monthly interest that you're paying. In other words, remember that $100 monthly payment you're paying on that $5,000 credit card balance you have? Out of that $100, $87.50 of that is going to the credit card company, which means you're only paying $12.50 towards the actual $5,000 balance. Yes, $12.50. You are being robbed. But let's paint an even bigger picture for you, shall we? Do you know how long it would take you to pay off a $5,000 loan knowing you're only putting $12.50 a month towards the balance? Let's do a little bit more math. Let's take that $5,000, which is your credit card balance, and divide it by $12.50. That'll give you 400. That means it would take you 400 months or 33 years to pay off your balance at that rate. Meanwhile, your bank collecting $87.50 off of you for 400 months will have earned $35,000 from you, all from you borrowing $5,000. Tell me that ain't crazy. This example, ladies and gentlemen, is how banks and credit card companies capitalize off of the financial illiteracy and ignorance of the average person who doesn't understand what's going on. And see, the banks understand time and how to wait patiently so they'll end up getting paid on the back end, making them richer and keeping you broke. So again, don't sit up here and say that nobody ever told you. So this is ultimately why I'm typically against loans, especially any type of personal loans. But I also understand that circumstances beyond your control arise and you got to do what you got to do. But this is why I stress the importance of saving so that when these types of things do happen, you won't need to borrow as much and you can pay whatever you owe off quicker and not stay in long-term loans. So don't get it twisted. I'm an advocate for credit, but not for debt. You need credit throughout your life. When emergencies happen and you don't have all of the money to pay it off up front, use credit and pay your debt off as quickly as possible and try to avoid debt in general at all times. Oh, and another thing, don't let me catch you running up your credit card for a vacation you couldn't afford in the first place and still paying for it 2 years later. That is not the definition of staying sapient. So anyway, I just wanted to show you how that works so that you can have a better understanding and make smarter decisions going forward. Go back and rewind this a few times, understand the formula, and use it to calculate the interest on your credit cards. Then, once you have that information, make a plan to get out of your debt as soon as possible. All right, everybody, I'm out. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, stay sapient.